This is Asia DeVINYL, and you're watching The Blairing Out with ERIC BLAIR Show.
This is the Blairing Out with ERIC BLAIR Show, and today I'm pleased to have fetish pinup model Asia DeVINYL on my show. How you doing today, Asia?
I'm doing wonderful, thank you.
Begin by telling me a little bit about your early upbringing and your family life.
I was born and raised in Portland, Oregon, the Pacific Northwest. My mother and my little brother and I, very small family, you know, just grandma, uncle, aunt. That's pretty much it. We were all very close. My grandmother means the world to me. We still talk all the time, and I love her to death. We moved to Southern California when I was 16, and that's when I started modeling. My friend invited me along on a shoot, and they ended up taking photos of me too and inviting me back, and I ended up getting a lot of work through that. It was something that I did on the weekends because I was in school.
Tell me about the Portland, Oregon goth scene and how that shaped you as a person.
It was my escape. It was my, you know, I hated school. I didn't want to be home, so I was out with my friends in the club scenes. I never really stopped clubbing. I still go to clubs today.
At what point did you realize that that boys were flocking after you?
I don't know. I had my first boyfriend in kindergarten, so I've always been boy crazy. I've had boyfriends all through school, so I guess really flocking towards me, high school, I would say. 8th grade, maybe.
Was it a problem?
It was a problem. It was a problem because, you know, if I'd slept with half of the guys who said that they slept with me in high school, ridiculous. I was not popular with the girls. They all hated me.
Oh, of course.
They all hated me. And the guys didn't help my reputation at all. So I basically stayed with my little group of friends, and we just stayed off to ourselves. You know, we were loners, I guess you could say.
At what point do you decide to go to Alaska to live?
Well, I went on vacation with my best friend up there, and I met this guy in a club. It was the only goth club in town, and they only did it one night a week, who was stationed there in the military. And we fell madly in love, and I moved home. I went back to LA. I sold everything that I owned, and I moved to Alaska and got married. We were married 3 months after the day we met.
How did having your daughter change your life?
Oh, she completed my life. I've always wanted to be a mother.
How much modeling work did you get from your first manager, and why did you end up leaving him and going freelance? I started out in the Southern California photo days. I don't know if you know what that is. It's every weekend models and photographers get together. My modeling manager actually started out as just someone who was getting me work, and we didn't have a contract. When I signed a contract, then he started, you know, getting me shoots, and he was driving me all over the place, and I had that contract for a year. Now, what I didn't like about being under contract is that I didn't have control over my hair color, my makeup, my wardrobe, and that just drove me crazy. So when my contract expired, I went crazy. That's really when I took on the whole fetish persona, because I went back to my roots of the whole goth thing, and you know, got photographers, and I was shooting chains and, you know, nothing nude or nothing bondage, but, you know, chains and patent leather and boots, and again, I was rebelling. At what point do you go to Germany?
I went to Germany in 2000 with my husband and daughter, and I had so much fun there. I worked with a fetish photographer, Stallwolf, beautiful photography, and she said, well, you know, I want to do something different. So I said, well, let's take the fetish back a few decades. And we did like some Betty Page stuff. And that was really when the pinup aspect of my work came into it. That was the first shoot that I'd ever done that was pinup-esque. And it just kind of took off from there. The Betty Page influence comes from my grandmother was very glamorous. Is still very glamorous, always has the painted nails, you know, the perfectly done hair and the high heels and the bathing suit at the swimming pool.
So I would sit on her lap and watch her paint her nails, and she would read a lot of old Hollywood magazines and things, and so she was a very big influence on my glamour.
How did you approach your modeling career after you got back in 2004 when you returned to California?
When I was in Germany, it was very frustrating for me because so many photographers knew me through my first website, which was vinylseductress.com, and I would get so many requests, come to LA, come to New York, come shoot with me, and I was trapped on the other side of the world. So when I got back to the States, I was trying to find all of these people, and I basically had photographers just waiting for me when I got back.
Wow.
So that made it really easy, a lot easier than starting from scratch all over again.
Now, what do you think it is about you that makes you unique and successful in this industry?
I've heard it said that in the pinup modeling, there's really, really cute, the cheesecakey smiles, which I love, but I can't pull off. I can't do it. Les Slenning of HotRodDolls.com put it to me that she said, sure, I can take pictures of you in the kitchen with the apron, pulling cookies out of the oven, but everyone's going to suspect that they're poisonous.
You are a super vixen, definitely. You would definitely be in one of those Russ Meyer movies, without a doubt. How do you feel about doing nudity?
It's all new for me. The whole nudity thing is completely new. I shot for the Hot Rod Dolls calendar. I was Miss May, and that was the first time that I did anything with, the covering, the nipples, but being completely nude. And to me, that was a big deal because, I do have a daughter, and I have a grandmother out there that wouldn't like, and it's just not for me. There's so much of that people can go find elsewhere.
Absolutely.
That I think it adds a little bit of mystique.
How did you become the spokesmodel for Shaggy's Customs?
Well, Shaggy is Les Slenning of Hot Rod Doll's husband. So when I went to go shoot with her, we were hanging out in the garage, because we shot with the bike that he was building at the time. No one was shooting bikes in progress. It's only the show when they're all done and everything. And he just said, this is fabulous. I love these prints. She has to be the spokesmodel. So before I knew it, I was all over the website there too.
How important was it for you to appear in Skin 2 magazine?
Huge. Huge. I love that magazine. To me, Skin 2 is like a New York model being in Cosmo. That's how I equivalate it. I wouldn't care about being in many magazines like Vogue or anything like that. That holds nothing for me, but Marquee and Skin 2 and Varla and Barracuda, those are, I enjoy being a niche model. I have more control that way.
How did you get involved in pinups for the troops, and why is that important?
They contacted me, I'm sure they found out about me through the HotRodDolls.com website, which I've gotten so much traffic through them. They contacted me and asked me if I wanted to be in the book, and of course, I jumped at it. I strongly believe in supporting the troops. I will say no more than that. But I just really wanted to be involved in that. And there's so many beautiful pictures in that book, and I get the first page, which I'm really thrilled about.
Tell me about Poison Candy Fashion.
I have the dress. She made it specifically for me. It's called the Asia dress. It's gorgeous. It's red and leopard print.
Now, what is Asia DeVINYL's fetish?
Definitely corsetry. High heels, clothes, rhinestones. Anything rhinestone, bling bling. Not bling bling like diamonds or anything, but I love rhinestones. I love purses.
How would you define the word love?
Devotion. I know that they sound like the same thing, but they're not. There is a quote that I really, really love that says, so many things in life are mediocre that love should not be one of them. And I believe that. You have to be passionate. Marriage and love too, it's hard work. You can't just, okay, well, we're married now, and put it on the back burner. It's a lot of work. People's feelings get hurt all the time, and the partner maybe doesn't know that person's feelings are hurt, and then maybe they show it through revenge or something, and you can get on a downward spiral way too easy.
So you have to make sure that you're always on an upward spiral, and that takes work.
Who are some of your favorite models that are out there right now?
Amina Munster, I love her. Sabina Kelly, Dana Deluxe, Kay O'Hara, Frankie Sin. She's such a doll. She's so cute. We hung out in Vegas, and I just want to pinch her cheeks.
Asia, what have been some highlights of your career?
I would say definitely being in Skin 2. And I was just on the cover of Magazine X, which was really cool for me. I'm so happy to be working with the photographers that I am. They're all fabulous, and they make every shoot an experience, so that's important. I wouldn't want to do, you know, like the high fashion shoots where it's go, 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 and business, business, business. That's not my style. So I'm really happy to be in the position that I am. Other highlights, well, the Steve Diet Getty. I still can't get over it. I can't believe it. I'm still stunned.